2. This is the second video out of 4 for my 300-hour yoga teacher training. Once again, my name is Rishimiel Uriah Kayamit, but I go by Shimmy. Once again, with everything regarding this thing, I'm gonna call it this thing that got people in fear. It's a little harder to find guest students right now, so once again, I'm teaching and practicing simultaneously in one video, so I'll be demonstrating while giving thorough instruction on how to properly perform each asana and also how to modify each asana depending on your level of skill. So last class we started off with real basic fundamentals known as Pavanuttasana or Shukshamviyaya, where we just generally get energy or prana or the wind stuck in the joints to move and flow as you open up the body. We didn't really move from the seated position, so today we're going to move a little more deeply into that practice. Now working on building strength to help further us opening our bodies. So rather than just falling to things passively or doing compound stretches to open things, we're also going to add a strength component now to actually allow the body to open more thoroughly and gain more awareness of it. The purpose of asana is not just to perform these postures or to make the body simply strong, but it's also to arrive at a steady state in body and mind to allow for higher forms of methodology or methods or practices. So yeah, today we're going to continue along our journey of establishing asana, or a steady state of mind, steady body. So, hey, this is the student Shimmy. I'm 31 years old. I haven't really been doing yoga that long, probably about 2 years. I hate this that I still say I'm doing yoga. I haven't been practicing these methodologies that long, only about 2 years. Never really had instructors in regards to this practice, funny enough. Like, only in the yoga school setting. So I'm still fairly new. Of course, living in the Western world, tight backs, tight hamstrings, tight knees, tight ankles, tight shoulders. Anything that can hinge, bend, and connect the body in me is pretty much tight. So as a student, I'm sharing this with the instructor so he can get an awareness of where I am as far as practice experience and as far as body limitations. Other than that, I have no real structural limitations as far as any rods in the body or any surgeries that have occurred that have created increased inflammation and limited movement. So with that said, after getting a little information on the student, getting a little information on their background and experience, sharing a little bit of mine, we'll begin the practice. So this is another Hatha practice. Since I'm doing a beginner-based series, I'm focusing strictly on Hatha, which is balancing of the Ha and the Ta, the masculine and feminine, the solar and the lunar. Just helping bring the body, the mind, the energetic systems, and the emotions into proper balance so it's easier to go beyond them and experience a higher level of awareness. So through the Hatha methodology, we'll continue on our journey of balancing energy. So we're going to start class by finding ourselves comfortable in the seated position. It can be cross-legged. It can be straight-legged in front. You can bring feet apart. You can sit in Vajrasana as you sit on your heels if you would like. If that's more comfortable for you, you can sit in Vajrasana. But today we're just going to start at any seated or kneeling posture that allows you to find a stable base. Once you arrive in that posture, feel free to kind of sway. Sway in it. Find that little space that allows you complete comfortability. Also, start bringing awareness to the breath. As you find stability in that posture, make the spine long, but don't exaggerate pulling it upward. I don't want it to be a strenuous event. Relax the shoulders as you let the eyelids fall. Relaxing the neck and chin. Returning your awareness back to the breath. We're going to begin with some yogic breathing, just to make sure that we're all aware of how the breath should fill and occupy the body. So as we inhale, we're going to inhale just to the belly. Exhaling just from the belly. This is the diaphragm. Inhale into the belly. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now we're going to breathe just into the chest. So you may have to keep the lower abdomen slightly tucked, making sure the spine is long so that the body knows that the awareness is going to be here, so it pulls it here. We're going to breathe into the chest, maybe a shorter breath. And this chest breathing is a common breath for people who suffer from anxiety, for people who struggle handling their emotions. You breathe into the chest, which is a lot more shallow of a breath than breathing into the abdomen. As you breathe into the chest, it also stimulates what organ? The heart. So that the heart speeds up by consequence of this chest breathing, which exacerbates and makes the situation way worse just by not fully breathing into the diaphragm, allowing it to sit in the sea or ocean of our emotions, and then bring it back up in proper balance. So as we do this, we're aware of some of the causes of a lot of our imbalance. So although we're breathing into the chest right now as part of this practice, regular breath should be into the diaphragm before filling the chest and shoulders, not just solely into the chest. On your next exhale, we're going to breathe into what's known as the clavicle or the shoulders. So the breath will be even more shallow. On your next exhale, we're going to complete the breath. So we're going to breathe into the abdomen and the abdomen fill, then filling the chest all the way up to the clavicle. Once you fill the whole body in an unstrenuous way, there's going to be a pause between the inhale and exhale that'll allow you to actually experience the body being full of this prana. If you're just strictly yoga, chi, into other backgrounds. Also, this life force that flows through the body. It can function in many ways. There's electricity, magnetism, electromagnetic waves, which is light, sound, everything we experience. It also flows through the body as thought, as heat. All these life forces that allow life to express itself. You can be able to become aware of their movement and their involvement in your being. So we're going to go into a full yogic breath, bring our body back to a relaxed state, the spine long, and inhale to fill the diaphragm, then the chest or the thoracic region, then the clavicle or the shoulder region. Pausing between the inhale and exhale as we exhale all that out, going from clavicle or shoulder to thoracic and chest, back down to the stomach or navel, and enjoying the pause between the exhale and inhale as well before we return back to inhaling. So we're going to begin inhaling to fill the diaphragm, the chest, the shoulder, enjoying the pause between the inhale and exhale as we exhale from the shoulder, the chest, the abdominal region or the diaphragm, enjoying the pause between the exhale and inhale before we inhale again. Belly, chest, shoulders, pause, exhaling shoulders, chest, diaphragm or belly, pause, continue, inhale, exhale. And if at any point in the class you would like to move at your own breath, feel free. This is not a class to bind you any further to anything else besides yourself. So if throughout the practice you feel like the breath that's being offered and instruction is not in alignment with how you want to breathe, always resort back to what's natural to you. Back to breathing in to fill the belly, the chest, the shoulders, pausing, exhaling to release the shoulders, the chest, the diaphragm, pausing. We have one more round. Inhale. Exhale. All right. On our next inhale, we're going to bring hands to heart in Namaskar pose. So our palms will come together, place palm to palm in front of our heart, elbows in, shoulders relaxed, keeping the spine long, neck and chin still neutral. Returning your awareness back to the breath. On your next inhale, rub the palms together. So as you're rubbing the palms together, we're going to generate what's commonly known as prana, but it's also expressed as friction, which is the rubbing of copper and carbon to create electricity, which is another form of prana. Also expresses heat, thermal energy, kinetic energy. It could go down for forever, but we're going to refer to it just as prana. As your palms get warm, you're going to place your cupped palms over your eyes, blinking into the palms, closing the eyes again as we rub the eyes and massage the eyes, massaging the forehead, the temples, the cheeks as we come back up the nose, the bridge and the sinuses, maybe returning back to the brow, returning back to the temple, the cheeks again as we come down, massaging the neck, back of the neck to the front, front to the back. And as we exhale, bringing our hands to heart, back in Namaskar pose, inhaling to open the eyes. We bow gracefully and gratefully into Namaste. Namaste to you all. All right, now let's get into some asana. All right, so last class we had a lot of opening practices which can still be applied, but today we're going to start seated. Last class we started with ankles and toes. This time we're going to go a little more deeper just into some general big muscles, and we'll return to these little muscles throughout the practice. All right, so from here we're going to gently inhale to lift the spine. Ooh. All right, so before we go back to truly dominant muscles, we're going to bring this left knee. Bringing in this left knee. You can either interlace your fingers on the hamstring or hug the hamstring as you pull it in. Bring the knee to chest. On the inhale, we're going to extend. Don't worry about lifting the leg high. Just worry about fully extending to open up the leg and release any extra air or gas or stagnant prana in the joint. So we're going to inhale, flexing the toes down as we extend the leg on the inhale. You're going to exhale to pull it back. Inhale to extend. Exhale, return it. Inhale to extend. Exhale to return it. Inhale to extend. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last round. Inhale. Exhale. And we're going to leave that foot down, extending it away. Coming up into this opposite leg. Gently bringing it in. Once again, either interlacing our fingers or hugging the thigh as we bring the knee into chest. Flexing the foot down. We're going to inhale to extend. So inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We have one more round. Inhale. And exhale that leg back down, returning it back. All right, which seems counterintuitive right now as we're opening the body. We're gonna keep the legs in front, bringing our body to Dandasana or staff pose, keeping the spine long, shoulders relaxed. We're gonna go into a gentle forward fold, but we're gonna do it in steps. So we're gonna inhale to lift, exhale to keep the spine straight as we slant the body forward. I don't want you to collapse the spine just yet. I just want you to begin opening. So keeping the spine long is really gonna pull on the hamstrings and the lower back. Keeping the spine straight as we walk our hands out. Inhaling to create space. Exhaling to move deeper into the stretch. On your next exhale, you're gonna fall a little more deeply into it, just relaxing the spine. On your next exhale, we're gonna release the hands, bringing the hands just outside of the knees. So we're gonna begin by just alternating feet, just to give a base for people who may not be as strong to lift both. So if you can't lift both feet at once, we'll lift one at a time. All right? So we'll turn back forward, give another angle of how it will look. Keeping hands outside the knee, slightly forward. We're gonna flex the left foot away, or whichever foot you would like. If you're gonna mirror me, it's the same foot. Pushing through the opposite heel, hands engaged to the floor, so you can inhale and lift. Exhale back down. Demonstrate again. Keeping this foot up, pointing the other foot away. Inhale and lift. And down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now pulling that foot back, pointing away the other foot. We're going to inhale. Exhale. Turn back forward. Pointing that foot, you move back. Inhale. Exhale. Other side. Inhale. Exhale. Come a little forward if you can. Inhale. Exhale. One more round. Inhale. And exhale. Now we're going to bring our body back to traditional Dandasana. Spine long. As we exhale, going a little deeper into the stretch. On your next inhale, we're going to come back up. All right. It's getting hot. Woo! All right, let's continue moving through our practice. We're going to turn back, and now we're going to attempt both legs. So you're going to put both hands gently outside the knees, keeping the spine long. We're going to point both feet this time, pushing through the sit bone that we're sitting on. Our fingertips is going to be the only points of contact. As we inhale, we're going to lift both feet. So inhale, exhale. We're going to turn to the side, embracing the mat, spine long, feet pointed. We're going to inhale and lift. Exhale. Go to the other side. Spine long, fingers engaged, toes pointed. We're gonna inhale and lift. And exhale. Once again, returning back to that forward fold. Inhale to lift the hips. Exhale to forward fold. On the next inhale, we're gonna rise back up. All right, now we're gonna go a little deeper into that region. All right, so before we go up into opening the legs, we're gonna bring this left leg back in, returning back. Now we're gonna begin to open the hips. So I sit at an angle. So we're here, this knee's back in. You can place both hands behind you, or if you want to, you can just sit with your hands out if you wanna yearn to use the core a little more. So we're gonna inhale, exhale to drop that knee. Inhale to bring it back in. Exhale to drop the knee. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more round. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to bring back in. And we're going to exhale that leg away. Bring it in the other leg. Once that foot is in, you can put your hands behind you or keep your hands in front. We're going to inhale, exhale that knee down. Inhale, bring it back in. Exhale that knee down. Inhale back in. Exhale that knee down. Inhale. Exhale. We have one more round. Inhale. And exhale. Finally bringing it back in and exhaling it away. All right, that's the beginning of opening up our hips, continuing to work with our knees. All right, now we're gonna go a little deeper into it as we set up for our legs to be spread apart. I believe it's the bound angle, but I don't wanna be mistaken. So we're gonna put your hands behind you, keeping the spine long. We're just gonna start with the left foot. We're gonna lift the left foot up and bring it into a crescent motion out. So that we're preparing ourselves with a strength building motion to go into a stretching motion. So we're gonna inhale to lift, exhale to place it out. So your legs may make an L shape. It may go a little further depending on your level of mobility. You're gonna inhale to bring it back in, exhale down. Other leg, so we're gonna square our body, inhale up, exhale out. Inhale to bring it back up and in, exhale down. Switching back, inhale to lift the leg up, exhale to wrap it around and down. Inhale to lift it back up, bringing it back in and down. Switching again, inhale up and around. Inhale to bring it back up and in. Last round, inhale up and out. Inhale to bring it up and back in. Switching one last time. Inhale up and out. Inhale to bring it back up and in. All right, now that we've opened up those muscles, we're just gonna spread the legs now. It's beautiful. All right, so our legs are spread, spine is long. All right, now we're gonna turn our attention to one of our legs. I'm not gonna tell you which one, but we're gonna square our body to that leg. Once the body's square, we're gonna inhale to lift the heart, lift the chest. So we're folding only at the hips, and then we're gonna gently fold, keeping the spine long, walking the fingers out as we journey to that foot. I don't want the spine rounding just yet. I want it to be completely straight as we begin to open the body. You can even explore a little deeper by taking both hands outside of that foot, getting a gentle spinal twist as you engage this forward fold. Just addressing what the body may need in the journey towards realizing our completion and wholeness. All right, now we're gonna go a little deeper into that shit as you fall into it. On the next exhale, we're gonna release the hands, inhaling to walk ourselves back up. Turning our attention now to the opposite foot, squaring our body, lifting from the heart and chest so we fold at the hip, folding at the hip, keeping the spine long, walking the fingers out. And on your next exhale, gonna fall a little deeper into it, relaxing the spine, allowing it to naturally round into the fold. Once again, if you want to explore by taking both hands outside of that foot, get a little spinal twist and stretch a little bit more of that side back, side body. Feel free to explore the postures and what they may offer. On your next exhale, releasing the hands, inhaling to come back in. All right, we're gonna turn back to this leg as we get ready to do our strength component. Both hands outside the knees, keeping the spine straight. You're gonna point that foot, inhale to lift. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, one more round. Inhale, and exhale. We're gonna go into that forward fold one more time. On your next exhale, releasing the hands to come back up and turn our attention to the opposite leg. We're gonna point that foot away, squaring our body, bring our hands just outside the knees or calves, and we're gonna inhale to lift. So we're gonna inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. We have one more. Inhale, and exhale as we go back into that forward fold. On the next exhale, we're going to release the hands, inhaling to push through the palms to come back up to a seated position. And now we're going to go down the middle. So down the middle is going to inhale to lift from the heart, rolling the hips forward. As we exhale, walking our hands forward, spine still straight. Maybe come to just hands, maybe the forearms, maybe able to fully lay out and pancake. But for right now, just keep the spine straight. On your next exhale, we're going to fall a little more deep into the asana. Just allow your body to fall forward. Maybe you start here on forearms. Maybe you have two fists stacked and you rest your head. Maybe it's one fist. Maybe you lay your hands flat and fall into your hands. On your next exhale, on your next inhale, you're going to push through the palms, coming back up to our seated position. You're going to bring heels together, knees together as you slide forward. To relax all the joints that were stretched and expanded, we're going to bring them all together. And now we're going to journey up into our back, shoulders, and the higher parts of our body. So from here, you're gonna sit back, just slightly keeping the knees bent. And we're gonna go into our reverse tabletop as we start entering up into the back and the shoulders. So, keeping our hands behind us. If you have issues with the wrist being compressed, turn the hands slightly out to 45 or to the side. But you want your hands either forward or 45-degree angle forward. And once we're there, we're gonna engage the heels, knees, and feet should be about hip width apart. And we're just gonna lift the body up into reverse tabletop. Once you feel like you've maxed out the lift, you're gonna look back a little as you inhale and squeeze and push up a little deeper. On your next exhale, you're gonna come back to a seated position. Ooh, all right. Extend the legs out. We're gonna bring the arms in front of us as we hug ourselves. Just a nice counter motion to that whole opening of the shoulders and chest. On your next exhale, releasing the arms, switching. Other arm on top. On your next exhale, we're going to release that again. All right, so now we're going to enter into more back. So we're going to come onto our spines, bringing our heels in. We're going to go into a bridge pose from here to continue opening up the back and the hips. So pushing through the heels, which are about hip width apart. You can have your hands by your side as you just lift. Going into a gentle back bend here. If you want to engage it a little deeper, you can bring your shoulder blades under. Interlace your fingers as you go a little deeper into the back bend. And if you want to continue to advance it, you can grab the ankles. As your shoulders come under you a little more deeply, and you push up a little higher. On your next exhale, you're going to release the arms, bringing them back out, sinking the hips back down. We're going to bring the knees to the chest. You're going to exhale them away. All right, we're gonna go a little deep into the back bend or the back folding. We're gonna take our legs straight up. And we're gonna just bring the legs over as much as possible. Maybe it stops here. Maybe you're able to touch the floor and continue rolling up. And we're gonna unroll. Inhaling to lift and begin. Exhaling to continue through. Inhaling to roll back, bringing our feet back to the mat as we come back to our seated position. All right. Now back in the seated position, we're going to come to our tabletop. All right, now that we're in tabletop, I'm going to give side view. You want your hips over your knees, so your knees should be stacked underneath your hips, tops of your feet pressed into the mat. Your palms should be underneath your shoulders, index finger pointed forward, and your fingers fully spread, palms really engaging the mat. We're going to be here with some cat-cow, so we're going to inhale, lowering the navel to the mat as we arch the back, looking up. We're going to exhale, rounding the back, pushing through the palms, tucking the chin. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more round. Inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, coming back to a neutral spine. All right, now we're going to begin to engage this core. So we're going to inhale to lift the right knee suddenly off the mat to a hover. We're then going to inhale to lift opposite hand, the left hand, off the mat into a hover. And on your following inhale, we're going to extend the right foot back, the left hand forward as we engage our core. That was the angle of the camera. On your next exhale, bringing elbow to knee. Inhaling back out. On the next exhale, come back elbow to knee. Inhale back out. One more. On the following inhale. On the following exhale, you're going to bring elbow to knee. And we're going to return them back to the mat. Now we're going to switch, lifting the opposite knee, opposite hand. Extending out. On the next exhale, we're going to bring elbow to knee. Another one, elbow to knee. One more. All right. Now from here, we're going to go back into our hips. So we're going to begin by lifting this right knee. You're going to step it up and around into a low lunge. So we're going to step into our low lunge. If you can't make it all the way into this position, bring the knee over the ankle, and then you can slide the back knee a little further back if you want to go deeper into the lunge. Now, while we're in the lunge, we're going to start off with a lizard pose. So we're going to bring both hands inside of that foot, and we're just going to walk the hands forward. Maybe you're just on hands. Maybe you're able to come to forearms. And we're just going to hold this posture of lizard pose as we allow the hips and the lower half to continue to open, expanding our awareness of our lower half physically. On our next inhale, we're going to walk our hands back in. All right, this time taking the right hand outside as we prepare for our warrior one from kneeling, our Virabhadrasana from kneeling. So once we're here, you're going to rest on the thigh, releasing the hand, inhaling as we rise up into warrior one from kneeling pose, from a kneeling lunge. We're going to exhale, hands to mat. Keeping the hand on the inside of the foot, right now is my left hand. Keeping the hand on the inside of the foot, placed inside the foot. Taking this other hand on the outside of the foot back to our opposite heel. So if you can't make the heel come to you, you can shift back as you grab it. Maybe starting back here with the foot planted and then coming forward back into this stretch. On your next exhale, we're going to release it back down, shifting our weight back over this knee. So the hip is going to be over the bent knee, other leg straight as we inhale to lift. Exhale as we forward fold, keeping a slight bend in this knee to protect the ligaments in the back as we stretch our hamstring. On your next inhale, coming back forward, bringing both hands back inside that foot in the front and returning that foot back. Readjusting the body into tabletop as we switch the opposite foot. So we're going to inhale to lift the other leg, bringing it to the front as we re-enter our low lunge. With both hands inside of this foot in the front, we're going to walk our hands forward as we re-enter our lizard pose. Maybe you're on hands, maybe you come to forearms. On your next inhale, we're going to walk our hands back in, taking the hand closest to the knee in front outside. So we got one hand inside the foot, one hand outside the foot. Releasing our hands as we rest on that leg. Inhaling to come up into kneeling warrior one. On your next exhale, bringing both hands back down. Keeping this hand inside the foot planted as we take the hand outside the foot, back, around as we grab the rear foot, going into a nice twisting quad stretch. On the next exhale, releasing the hand and the foot as we shift our body back, stacked over this knee, extending this leg forward, keeping a micro bend as we forward fold on the exhale over that slightly bent leg. Stretching out the hamstrings, the upper rear part of the leg. On the next inhale, we're going to come back forward, bringing both hands inside and returning that leg back. Ooh. All right. Now that our legs are open, let's go up into these shoulders a little more deeply. So we're going to go into our plank. So from here, we can step back into a high plank, tucking the pelvis. So if your back rounds, you're going to tuck the pelvis, rounding the back, separating the shoulders as you push through the palms. If that's too much, you can come to your knees. So you're going to walk your knees back as you bring your body into a straight line, feet up, pushing through, rounding the back. If you have wrist problems, you can also come to your forearms in plank as you walk your feet back, tucking the hips, and you can do plank that way. Same from the knees. It's just going to be a really low plank as you're really forced to engage the abdomen. So we're going to be in our plank at whatever level. From here, we're going to enter side plank. So if you're in a traditional plank, you can either stack your heels and go into a side plank. You can lift this right foot or the front foot, foot closer to the camera, take it over, and now you have 2 points of contact on the floor as you enter side plank. If you're in a bent knee plank, the side that you turn into, that bent knee is going to hit the ground, and the other leg is straightening over. So now you have a lever to hold you up in your side plank. And all the same too apply to if you're on your forearms. So if you're on your forearms, you're gonna turn, whichever side you're going to, that forearm is gonna turn in to the side. That foot is gonna stay bent and the other one's gonna come straight over it as we enter the side plank from the forearms and knees. All right, so wherever you're at, we're gonna be in the side plank. Lifting the body, don't let it sink. Creating pressure in the shoulder, you're gonna lift, pushing through, arms straight up. On the exhale, you're gonna come back. And on your next inhale, we're gonna shift to the other plank. Once again, you either do it stacking feet, one foot behind the other. You can do it from kneeling, or you can come to your forearm. Same thing, kneeling. As we return back to our side plank. Exhaling back to traditional plank. Shifting back to down dog. Now opening up the shoulders. If you have an issue with down dog, getting your heels down, you can widen your feet. Bring your feet further apart to allow you to push back and engage the heels. Or if your feet are still together, you can bend your knees to go deeper into the shoulders. Or you can pedal your heels to go deeper into the downward dog. From here, we're going to come back to tabletop. All right. Now we're back in tabletop. We're going to come onto our stomachs as we go into our back a little more deeply before we stand. So we're going to bring our hands next to our chest. You're going to inhale as we extend the arms and lift. So we're lifting using just the backside of the body as we squeeze, exhaling back down. Palms next to your chest. On the next inhale, we're going to cobra pose. So elbows in, pushing through the palms, squeezing the lower back, squeezing the glutes to protect the lower back as we lift. Once you lift, keeping the shoulders down, not to crowd the neck. So I'll demonstrate again. As we lift, elbows in, pushing through the palms. Don't crowd the neck. Relax the shoulders, keeping the spine long, back long, squeezing the glutes to protect the spine. On your next exhale, coming back down. Shifting back into child pose. On the next inhale, we're going to come back to tabletop. And we're going to enter downward dog. So you're going to tuck your toes. First, we're going to lift to hover the knees. And then we're going to push back into downward dog. From downward dog, we're going to walk our feet to our hands. So just going to step, 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 step. You're going to step until your hands and your feet meet. From here, we're going to bend our knees, allowing our abdomen to rest on the thighs as we rise, rounding the vertebrae, standing vertebrae by vertebrae into a standing position. All right, let's adjust this camera a little more. All right, now that we're on our feet. Woo! It's like it took forever to get onto our feet. All right, now that we're on our feet, let's continue. So we're gonna interlace our fingers behind our back, pulling down, While we're doing this, let's stretch our neck. So we're gonna inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Once again, always feel free to move within the asana. If you look up, I'll give you different stretches if you look down to that side. And inhale back to the middle. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Looking down, looking up. On your next exhale, coming back to the position. Inhaling back to the middle. Exhaling back, left ear to left shoulder. Inhaling to the middle, exhaling right ear to right shoulder. Inhale to the middle. Now turning left. Inhale to the middle, turning right on the exhale. Inhale to the middle, exhaling to the left. Inhale to the middle, exhale to the right. Inhale to the middle. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, head up. If you feel compression in the back of the neck, always let your mouth lightly hang and then take away that compression. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, up. One more round. Exhale, chin to chest. And inhale up. Exhale, bring it back. We're going to release the arms. All right. All right, so now that we're here, we're going to drop arms to the side. Let's really engage our feet before we move through our practice. So while we're standing here, you're going to lift the toes. So the only part of your feet that should be on the ground is the balls of your feet and your heels. While your toes are lifted, feel free to spread the toes, wiggle the toes, fully engage the ball of your feet and the sole and the heel of your feet before you fully spread the toes and place them back into earth. So now that we have a stable base, knees stacked over ankles, hips stacked over knees, shoulders stacked over hips, making sure that the back is not arching back, that you're rolling the pelvis forward so that it's in a straight line so energy can flow freely up the body. Relax your shoulders, keeping the spine long. And now we're going to inhale, bringing arms up. Exhale to the right. Make sure pushing both arms away. Inhale to the middle. Exhale the opposite direction. Inhale back to the middle. Exhale our arms down. All right, inhale back up. Now we're going to come into our toes. Let me back up a little more. So now we're on our toes. Side bend again on your toes. Learn to engage those parts of our body that we seem to ignore. Learn to balance and stabilize. Inhale back to the middle. Exhale to the other side, still on your toes. Inhale back to the middle. And we're going to exhale, arms down, shoulder length, as we squat to wherever is comfortable. It might be there, it might be up here. You might be able to sit. Inhale back up. Inhaling, arms all the way back up. Now we're going to sit with the arms all the way up. So we're going to sit. Inhale back up. On your next exhale, we're going to drop arms into our forward fold while on our toes. Bending the knees slightly. Bending the knees a little more. We're going to stand up, going up vertebrae by vertebrae, rounding the back, pushing the hips forward to keep the back rounded as we come up. We're gonna inhale to bring the arms up. Exhale, and as arms get to shoulder height, bring the heels down. All right, let's make our way back down. So we're gonna come into some more balancing postures. Now we have bounce on both toes. We're gonna inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. We're gonna start off with tree pose. So it's gonna be, you can start in a kickstand with just your heel pressed above your ankle, both feet are still on the ground. If you want to advance it, you can come sole of one foot to the calf of the other. And if you want to continue to advance it, you can bring this foot up to the inner thigh, pressing the heel into the thigh as you stand in the tree pose. From tree pose, we're going to bring that foot forward. From here, we're going to let that foot hang, extending it back into a warrior three. Inhaling to come back in front, bringing it out and down. All right. Now we're going to go to the other side and do it from a side view. You're going to start with the modified tree pose, what we call a kickstand. Toes still on the ground, heel is placed above the opposite ankle. If you want to advance it, bring foot to calf. If you want to continue to advance it, bring the whole sole of the feet to the other thigh. From here, we're going to bring that foot forward. You can also do the same thing here on the shin or on the other foot or floor. And from here, we're going to inhale, stepping that foot back into warrior three. You can't do the full warrior three. You can also put your hands on the floor lightly if you need the balance support. Let me turn to the side. On your next inhale, you're going to bring that foot back to the front. So it could be on top of the foot, it could be on the shin, it could be on the quad. Oh man. Quad. And you're going to bring it back to tree pose and down. All right. Let's make our way down continually. You're going to inhale, arms up. Exhale and try forward fold. From here, you're going to bend both knees as we rise into chair pose. Taking our balance into a more stable position. We're going to exhale, hands to heart. On the following exhale, taking left elbow to right knee, maybe hovering or making contact. Make sure the knees don't collapse inward. Taking the gaze upward if comfortable. Inhaling back to the middle. Exhaling, right knee to left elbow, right elbow to left knee. Inhaling back to the middle. Exhaling into our forward fold. We're going to bend both knees as we take a seat. All right. Now that we are seated back on the mat, all right, we're going to go into a few core strength postures before we relax. So we're going to do some Navasana or boat pose. You can do it with your hands slightly in front of you, on the fingertips, hands behind you, but you have to remember to keep the spine long. Or you can even come to your forearms if your wrists are giving you problems. But we're gonna start with traditional Navasana. So we're gonna lift so that our shins are parallel with the floor, toes pointed up, lightly on the fingertips. Ideally, your hands come out to the sides here, chest up, and we're gonna hold this for a few rounds of breath. If you wanna advance it, you can point the toes, extend as you pull the body up. On your next exhale, bring the legs back in and down. All right. I want to go into it one more time before we relax. So Navasana one last time. Shins parallel to the ground, if that's where you begin. Maybe you're on your forearms just to build core strength first. Maybe on your fingertips. Maybe a little more engaged in the hands, elbows back, shoulders down. But we're here in Navasana. Now on your next exhale, bring the feet down. Relax into the spine. Let's adjust this camera one last time. All right. So we're on our spines, relaxing on the floor. We're gonna bring in just our left knee. Bringing in the left knee. We're gonna take this left knee to the left side of the body as we open the hips one last time. Keeping your back flat on the floor, pushing your pelvis up and forward to get a real deep stretch in the hips. On the next inhale, you're gonna bring that left knee back to the middle, taking it across our body now as we get a spinal twist to the other side of the body, still keeping our back flat on the floor. On your next inhale, you're gonna bring that knee back to the middle. Pulling it in one last time as you exhale that left leg away. Now we're gonna bring in the right leg. Pulling it into the chest, up to the chin. We're gonna take this right knee to the right side of our body as we open that hip one last time. On the next inhale, bring that right knee to the middle. Exhaling as you take it across the body. On the next inhale, we're going to bring that right knee back to the middle, pulling into the chest, up to the chin. And exhaling that leg away. All right, now we're going to pull in both knees to the chest. We're going to enter into a happy baby pose. So we're going to grab either the inner arches of your feet. You can grab the big toes with your index and middle finger, however you feel comfortable, as you embrace the feet, pulling the knees down. So your knees should be coming towards the floor, soles of your feet to the ceiling, as you kind of pull and rock. Allow your hips to open, your back to flatten and open. If you would like, you can continue to extend the legs out, bring them back. next exhale, you're gonna bring heels together, knees together. As you bring the legs to a 90-degree angle, you're gonna take the left leg over the right. As you take the right knee to the left side of the body. Getting a nice spinal twist with twisted legs. On the body, go deeper into these asana. Get a deeper experience and awareness of self. On our next inhale, we're going to bring both knees back to the middle. We're going to unravel the legs, taking the right knee over the left. Taking this left knee to the right side of the body as we get another deep spinal twist with twisted legs. On your next inhale, bringing both knees back to the middle. As we unravel both legs, we're going to extend them away. Hands to your side, palms to the sky as you allow your eyes to gently fall on your next exhale. Returning your awareness back to the breath, back to the rise and fall of your diaphragm, the rise and fall of your chest, the rise and fall of your shoulders. Enjoying the space between the inhale and exhale, as well as the space between the exhale and inhale. Filling the body and letting all that you filled it with release. Through this breath, we achieve a higher awareness of self. Through this breath, we become fluent in ourselves. On your next inhale, begin to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, rotate wrists, rotate ankles, bend elbows and knees, stretch above the head, stretch below the waist, stretch to the side. As you slowly and gently make your way back to your first asana, or the position in which we started this practice. All right. Once we arrive back at our initial asana or posture, find comfort in it once again. Maybe swaying, maybe just automatically in it. Maybe you find it through the breath. On the next inhale, we're going to bring hands to heart. Allowing the eyelids to fall once again. Returning our breath back, returning our awareness back to the breath. We're just going to finish off with some equal breathing. So breathing slow for a count of 4. Holding for 4. Exhaling for 4. We're going to go through that for a few rounds as we allow the body to settle. On your next inhale, we're going to open eyes. They say gratitude is the highest form of yoga, so I am truly grateful for your presence and the opportunity that you have allowed for us to experience this practice and experience yoga. Namaste to you all, I bow to you, and I appreciate you all. So that was class number 2 Last class I did a review after, but I guess we still have to do the paperwork, so I'm about to go type that up. But one thing I did realize that I want to work on is actually demonstrating and giving instructions prior to moving into the actual posture. So I'll definitely work on that next time. But until then, thank you again. This is number 2 of 4 for my 300-hour yoga teacher training.